Hello everyone, my name is Suyang and I am currently completing my bachelor degree in Human Resource Management and Management in Curtin University. As I approach the end of my university journey, this video serves as a reflection on my academic experience, personal development, and the readiness to transition into the workplace. My academic path has not been entirely linear. When I first began my studies at the diploma level, my intent field was logistics and supply chain management. However, through my learning experience during the diploma program, I gradually discovered a strong interest in people, organizational dynamics, and how individuals are supported to develop within organization. This reason ultimately led me to purpose my bachelor degree in Human Resource Management and Management, a direction that aligned more closely with my strengths and long-term career goals. In this presentation, I will reflect my employability development, my experience in the unit Enhance Your Business Mind, my overall time at university, and my career plans after graduation. I will share you with a message to my future self, capturing the key lessons and the value I hope to carry forward into my professional life. One of the most valuable insights I gained from the employability self-assessment came from seeing my confidence, visions, responsibility across the different literacy. The result shows that my stronger area lies in emotional literacy. This reflects my ability to understand and manage my own emotions as well as relate efficiency to others. I believe this strength has been developed through the group work, discussion, and reflecting on interpersonal dynamics through my studies, particularly in units that required collaborations and communication. It has also reinforced my interest in people-focused career paths, such as human resource management. At the same time, the employability profile highlighted the clear development area for me to the digital literacy. Compared to my other literacies, my confidence is using digital tools and technology for work, and learning was noticed by lower. Rather than seeing this as a weakness to avoid, the report helped me recognize it as a priorities area to growth. This reminds me with the employability is not about being strong in everything, but about being aware of where improvement is needed and taking responsibility in the development. Overall, the employability tools shift my perspective from view employability as a fixed outcomes to understand it as an outgoing process. The recognizing both my strengths in emotional literacies and my needs to strengthen digital capitalism. Now, I have a clear and more realistic directions for my personal and professional development moving forward. Reflecting on my experience in Enhance Your Business Mind, this unit has played an important role in developing my self-awareness and the way I approach learning, judgment, and decision-making. Rather than focusing purely in business knowledge, the unit encouraged me to reflect how I thinking and act in different situations. Through the semesters and in-class activities, I became more aware of how quickly judgments can be formed, especially under time pressure and uncertainty. For example, activities the required instant decisions made, I realized that confidence does not always equal to objective, and that assumed can influence outcomes even when we believed what we are being fair. One of the most valuable aspects of this unit was emphasis on reflections instead of simply common tasks. I was encouraged in analyzing my own behavior, identify limitations in my thinking, and consider how these insights could be applied in real-world context. This process helped me shift from focusing on the performations alone, paying greater attention to self-awareness, emotional regulations, and responsible in decision-making. Overall, Enhance Your Business Mind has strengthened my ability to reflect crucial on my actions and learning experience. The skills developed through this unit, such as reflecting thinking, interpersonal awareness, and conscious decision-making, are not only relevant with my study, but will also be highly transferable to my future professional environment, particularly in people-focused roles. Reflecting on my overall time at university, I see experience as process to gradual explorations and clarification rather than a fixed or line journey. When I first began my studies at the diploma level, my intent field was logistics and supply chain management. At the stage, my understanding of different disciplines was largely theoretical. However, as I progressed through the diploma studies, I was exposed to the wider range of learning experience that require reflection, teamwork, and engagement with people. Through this process, I began to recognize my strengths and interests were closely aligned with understanding people, organizational behavior, and how individuals support the development within workplace. Transactions into bachelor's degrees in human resource management and management allowed me to better align my study with this emphasized self-awareness. University life has not only helped me develop academic knowledge, but also challenged me to manage my time more efficiently, work with diverse groups, and taking responsibility from my own learning. There were moments where I realized I could have been more proactive or taking greater advantage or opportunities. But this reflection has been vulnerable in shaping how I now approach my development. Overall, my university experience has helped me become more intentions about the choice. Rather than simply complete a degree, I have learned important understanding about myself, reflecting on the experience and making informed decisions about my future direction. When I'm reflecting on my career plan after graduate, I have found the Odyssey plan approach particularly helpful in shaping how I'm thinking about my future. Rather than commitment to single, wider pathway, and approach prompts me to consider multiple possible directions and reflect on how each might offer terms to growth and meaning. One process pathway I considered was entry-level human resource roles in guideline development practice HR skills through on-the-job experience. Another pathway focused on skills enhancement and experience accumulations, where I would practice broad exposures, continuous learning, and performance developed within organizational settings. Both these pathways remain valuable options and have helped me significantly my professional interest. However, after reflecting on these processes, the pathway I am most drawn at this stage is one centrally on the academic preparation and social impact. The direction aligns closely with my interest in understanding human behavior, well-being, and ethical decision-making. Particularly in people-focused context, I have come to realistics to making meaningful contributions in human resource management and require not only practice skills but also a deeper foundations in psychological insight, critical thinking, and self-awareness. By strengthening the foundation, I aim to better support individuals and the organizational in the way, and that will perspective emotionals and sustainability. In the long term, I hope to contribute to people practice that promote fairness, well-being, and through the decision-making rather than focus solely in short-term outcomes or titles. For me, the pathway relations is deliverables, the reflection approach to building the career and the balance professional development within meaningful social contribution. If I will live in a manage to my future self 5 years from now, I would be a reminder stay grandly in the reasons why I chose this path. I hope this 5 years time, I hope I will not only have genuine knowledge and experience, but also maintain the self-awareness and the emphasis that shapes my decision during university. It is easy to become focused on outcomes, titles, or external experience. But I want to remember that meaningful work comes from understanding people, listening carefully, and making decision responsibility. I would remind myself not only on the loose side of the important reflection, whether working in academic, professional, or organization settings. I hope I continue to question my assignments, recognize my limitations, and remain open to learning. Growth should not only be measured by achievement, but also the insights to the impact my actions have the others. Most importantly, I would encourage my future self to remain patient and internally. Process does not always following the straight line, but also the weakness as long as my choice remain aligned with my value and purpose. I trust that the journey will continue to be both meaningful and whole while. Okay, in conclusion, this reflection has allowed me to look back of my university journey and greater clean to intentions. Through engage with the employability tool, I have gained a deeper understanding of my strengths and the areas for developing. Particularly in reminding the importance of emotional awareness is continuous growth. The unit Enhance Your Business Mind and the broader university experience have reinforced the value of reflections, self-awareness, and through the decision-making. This experience has shaped not only what I've learned, but also how I approach my future career in the responsibility and purpose. As I move forward, I am confidently that I am insight gained through my studies will continue to guide my choices. Rather than seeing guidelines as an endpoint, I now view it as the beginning of the ongoing journey of learning, development, and meaningful contribution.